in Disney for April 25th to April 30th.
April 30th.
When I started planning, I was like, oh, we'll definitely probably go into May.
Yeah.
But technically,
Last week of April showers.
I love April. April's such a good month.
Yeah.
There's so many good things to enjoy. We've been enjoying a lot. We got to enjoy your family being here.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
which we had talked about before, but also just Flower and Garden and the Easter eggs over at the Fleur. I don't know why. That's just something I love so much.
And they really brought it all out this year. So many new additions. I mean, we did during closings and during reopenings, we did the Easter eggs there that were spread out all over the Grand Floridian Resort for distancing. You kind of had to do a little bit of a quest, but
there was definitely a lot less.
Yes.
And this year there was a lot more.
And so much new.
But not quite as much as, I mean, there's still more to come.
Yeah, even over at the Contemporary. It was, yes, that is true.
Because they filled the whole room.
That is true.
In previous, there was even some in the front. So,
but so
anyway,
grateful for what was there.
It's getting closer.
Yeah. But last week of April showers bring May flowers. And it's going to be flowers that we're talking about. I mean, as you can tell here.
Yeah, we're all excited because we finally get to talk about back in 1994 on April 29th, the very first Flower and Garden happened at Epcot.
Yeah.
Yeah, 94. And this was really the beginning of festivals like this.
Our longest festival of the year stretches.
Well, at the time it wasn't.
Okay.
I think it only lasted like 38 or 39 days. So it was totally a different time period.
I think that points to the sustainability of the effort. Like, I mean, that the investment in flowers, they keep growing. Let's keep them going.
People want it, and people enjoyed it, and they were taking a gamble on this. They didn't know if this was going to be popular or something people really wanted to do, but it really was. In fact, flower gardening enthusiasts started coming back every year, planning their trips around Flower and Garden. And
even in the future, HGTV got involved. We've talked about that before.
Right.
Yeah.
So, it's an annual, obviously, garden festival at Epcot. And it typically will go from early March to May. This year it's going all the way, I believe, again through July.
Yeah. You know what, though? They bring it, though, too, because it also includes the garden stage, or the garden rocks, the garden rock stage, which brings a lot of bands and entertainment, too.
For sure. But, it's something we personally love because this was the first, festival that we ever did as a family together at Disney World. And so this was the time of year that we always came. Mostly, very late April or early May. The parks weren't too busy. And these festivals are supposed to be going during non-holiday times to kind of bring in more people, which is good. We want people to be there, and
I think I mean, when I'm standing in line for the shows and stuff, a lot of locals participate in that regularly. So off season, I mean, I just can't say it though, because you can feel the vacationers here so much right now. It's so awesome.
A lot of new people, first timers. But back to Flower and Garden, the very first 1994 one was hosted by Better Homes and Gardens.
Okay, Better Homes and Gardens.
The event included 250 garden beds, more than 100 type of flowers.
Yeah, and while Better Homes and Gardens is a brand, I mean, a very popular magazine. So great sponsor.
Well,
At the time.
So there was 100 types of new flowers and topiaries. The guest speaker was Roger Swain of Public Television's Victory Garden.
Okay.
Remember that? It's a cool show. So this was really
That's
different.
just a cool show. Hardbound books. I mean, I remember seeing stacks of them. Very popular books. Go ahead.
Well, they had 70 horticulturists brought a new beauty to the 11 countries. So every country was highly different. Like in Norway, it was like snow, and there was let's see what kind of flowers. There was white blankets of geraniums, which was the snow, and then poinsettias. So you got a very winter feel.
A little bit of Tournament of Roses feel.
And then there were water lilies, of course, in China.
And they do that whole roof in Norway with flowers. I mean, I don't know if they did it then, but I mean, it's beautiful this time of year.
Then in the UK, in the United Kingdom Pavilion, there was all the flowers that attracted butterflies. So now we have the butterfly garden, but the whole area, the whole United Kingdom was attracting butterflies. And I saw a picture of a Mary Poppins topiary from '94, so that was so cute. And
there you go.
In
Jolly Holiday.
Kingdom. So lots of people came that were gardeners, like I said, but there was demonstrations and classes that you could go and enjoy, even some things that you had to pay for, but pay a little extra for. But I mean, we haven't seen so much of that the last couple of years.
Because of the Epcot experience taking up that building. But now that that's closed, I mean, just recently closed, it'll be used again. There's always, especially with the play opening up, there's going to be a lot of focus on hands-on activities, I'm sure.
We hope so. That would be really cool. But back then, they were doing this, and lots of real hands-on. I'm really into gardening, really into teaching about horticulture. Like, I think your mom would have loved the original. If your mom went to the original 1990, your parents would be going every year probably. But it would be kind of neat to get back to that, because it's just such a cool thing, learning all these different, because they have so many special guests. And then, as you mentioned, they have the concert series, and it was at one time called, I think it was called Flower Power for a really long time.
Power chords ringing.
And now it's the Garden Rocks.
Power Line. Pardon me, all of you Power Line fans out there.
So I was trying to talk about how this really created like a ripple effect with other festivals, because then Food and Wine happened in '95, so it was automatically seen as a success, and then it just went into other things like the Star Wars weekends, which were really cool. Even the marathon stuff.
So you're saying we owe a lot of this to Flower Garden?
Yeah, like the marathons, also knowing that this was like going into a specific genre, that guests would want that and come back and even spend money for that or whatnot, was seen as something that, okay, well, we can do that with Star Wars, we can do that with, they had something called Super Soap Weekends. Was that, I don't know what that was.
Super Soap Weekends?
I'm thinking that's like soap, like soap operas?
Yeah.
I don't know. You tell me in the comments. I gotta research that one. But then, of course, the marathon. Like, huge amount of people love that. And, I mean, it's really big that the amount of people, I mean, you can't, like, the day that you do sign up, you have to, like,
it's been a struggle.
Plan it, just like getting a dining reservation and everything. I'm sure coming back right now, it's a big one to try and get into. But I love this. I love, because this is technically our favorite festival, I think, as a family, just because like it just has sentimental value. So it's really neat that it was the first one, and the first one, and it has such a good influence.
So much to the seeds planted by Flower Garden.
And so let's just, before we move on, I just want to touch on the fact that there was not, from 94 to 2015, there was not a lot of changes. But then in 2015, they started bringing all the IP characters as topiaries, like Chip and Dale Goofy, Kermit, Miss Piggy, Buzz Lightyear, Fantasia, Phineas and Ferb. It's the whole list of, and you know what's there. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, that's one of my favorite. This year, the way they have it, it's so beautiful. We've gotten some really cool pictures on Instagram of that one. So they brought all those in. Then 2016, they added more, like Huey, Dewey, and Louie. And then
not presently active this year.
2017, Figment was the first Figment topiary, believe it or not.
Journey to Imagination. This year, lovely flower bouquet in hand.
Yeah, and then in 2019, Garden Rocks became nightly instead of just like certain nights.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So anyway, it just keeps expanding, but we do need, I think we need some things back like those you know, like I said, guest speakers, classes, hands-on stuff. I think it's good for kids too to get to experience gardening and flowers and learning how easy it is to grow beautiful things.
Yeah.
So
hands-on is coming.
Yeah, and I'm sure the new things are probably incorporate with the festivals more, because the festivals are a huge part now, because you have the Christmas one and you have the arts festival and food and wine. I mean, there's never ending. You only get like a couple weeks in between festivals usually.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Which is fun. Yeah, so moving on to the rest of this week. April 25th, 1930, Disney's 15th Mickey Mouse cartoon, Wild Waves, is released. So this is a 7-minute cartoon that was, you know, animated by Iwerks.
Yeah, I have a t-shirt for this one.
Do you?
Yeah.
Which one?
Mickey Waves.
I don't remember that t-shirt.
Yes.
Okay, sorry. Anyway, he does have a lot of Mickey t-shirts.
Yeah.
So. But
it's so funny, because actually for like the first while that I had it, I wasn't sure it was legit. Like I was like, is this really associated with a cartoon? Like I thought maybe someone had, because he's waving, and I was like, maybe it's just like an art thing, and like had to go research it. So the first little bit I was like, not even sure it was really a short, but
yeah.
It certainly is.
Okay, so this cartoon is about Mickey being a lifeguard, and he, in the process, Minnie is swimming, ends up in the ocean, and there's a rescue situation. What I like, first of all, about this cartoon is that it's of Iwerks, and so you can go check out what his animation style was specifically at the time. And, you know, of course, it was their 15th cartoon, so don't expect, like, I mean, keep it in context of like 1930, not
and the
50s.
Demand of stills and screen or frames. I mean, Iwerks was producing like a machine.
Yeah, and I thought that the way that this is animated was really interesting. What they did with the waves and the animals and everything. Binky has like a bunch of seals who are supporting him and like clapping for him and stuff. It's really cute.
Yeah.
But what I also like about the story of the cartoon is like the way that Mickey, the compassion he's showing to Minnie. I think it's really like a sweet situation, a good example to kids on you know, how to treat each other and just kind.
And that really highlights what I was going to say too, is that we have the opportunity in this one to hear Walt's voice as Mickey, and it is that compassion, it is that like tenderness. You can hear it, and it's really nice.
It's really sweet. So go check this one out. It's on YouTube, not on Disney Plus though. I don't think pre-19, I don't know. I haven't found a lot of black and white stuff on Disney Plus. So we'll see.
Next time go back.
Yeah, 1952, same day, April 25th, Disney's Donald Duck cartoon, Let's Stick Together, is released. Now,
let's stick together, yeah.
So, anyway, this is a really cool cartoon to check out. It is on Disney Plus, and it's Spike the Bee's last cartoon. This is like
Flower and Garden.
Right, going back to Flower and Garden. This is a long, or not long, it's not that long of a cartoon, but the story in it is really good story. It's really good writing. So just check it out from that standpoint. And if you're a Spike the Bee fan, you have to watch this cartoon, because it's just like, it's giving his like whole character development and making him more he actually has a voice in it. He speaks. So like the earlier ones, he doesn't speak or whatever. So, and of course Donald, it's always Spike and Donald, and I love Donald's theme song. Like, you know, I think I brought it up before, but just the lyrics.
But Donald Duck. Yeah.
They're so cute.
Right.
So
who gets,
check out homework. Watch these cartoons.
Get your buzz
really
on.
interested. Really interesting. Lots to learn there. But we'll move on to April 26, 2017. Johnny Depp surprises fans dressed as Captain Jack Sparrow at Disneyland on the Pirates of the Caribbean. So I wanted to bring this up because only because people have asked me, does this really happen? Does Johnny Depp really show up? And I was like, yeah, he really does. It does happen. He loves doing this. It's really fun for him. He seems to really love fans.
Fun guy. Not boring at all. Nor his friends. Right. Nor his friends.
He's a really
guitars
cool guy.
And all.
Yep. He's a fun guy. So anyway, not getting into
this was the day that he showed up.
In 2017.
And people cried.
Oh no,
fans cried.
He was full in character. Like, he does this. He's in character. I mean, we actually have like really, really good close friends who experience this.
Oh yes.
Rachel. Anyway, sorry, I shouldn't name people, but anyway. So, like, we actually know people who've experienced this. So it's not even like, oh, it happened once. Like, it could happen anytime.
3 times he's done it.
But I think it's more at Disneyland.
Oh yeah, it's all Disneyland.
Like, we've never seen it happen personally at Disney World.
Otherwise, you've ever heard.
If we do, and we can be there, we will be so happy. So happy. Yes. Yeah. So anyway, that was cool. It does happen.
Geeking out.
Okay. 2018, same day, Walt Disney World welcomes a newborn Grevy zebra.
Grevy zebra?
Yeah, so Laylee was born at Disney's Animal Kingdom. The female fowl will eventually join the zebra herd on the Gorilla Falls expedition. So there's zebra over there. If you haven't noticed when you're at Animal Kingdom, I know because it can be really busy when you go to the parks, but there's the Gorilla Falls Trail where you can see more animals.
Like, yeah, you can miss it.
Yeah, so when you get off this Kilimanjaro Safari, you can go do the gorilla, or you can just go do the trail without doing
we had a great Earth Day at Animal Kingdom. I mean, awesome.
Yeah.
And the monkeys up, swinging around. I mean, everything was alive. What a great day.
Right. So that's something cool to check out. But this, these zebras, the gravies, are the most endangered species of zebra. There's only 2,500 alive.
Well, with a name like that, you sound delicious. What the?
Oh, goodness. You don't eat zebra.
I don't.
No.
And no one should.
No.
But they have a delicious
You can
name.
have zebra cakes. No, you really
Zebra cakes, Little Debbie.
Much sugar.
There's where the confusion happened. We blame Little Debbie.
Oh, okay. All right.
Disney doing their part to ensure non-extinction of Grevy zebras.
Well, and other animals
and others.
Yeah, that's cool. So, 2019, same day. It's a busy day. 2019, I always thought this was weird. Or I have pondered back that this is weird. But anyway, Avengers Endgame was released in 2019. And you know how intense those movies were. Yeah. And then 2020 we went through so much intense.
Oh, you're trying to link it. Oh my goodness. No, like it was preparation.
I'm just saying
for our hearts. Okay.
Right. Like I couldn't because I remember seeing Endgame and then because I love the Avengers movies ever since the first one. I was like, this is so cool. Like what they're doing with superhero characters in general in these films, really exciting. But then this movie was the only one I only saw once, like in the theater, and then all this stuff happened, and I don't know, I couldn't watch it.
I think
and I was just wondering if maybe some of you guys felt the same way. It was just a little too much.
Okay. Yeah. It had kind of a Return of the King aspect too, that when you finish a long saga arc, you kind of exhale. Yeah. So, but there was a lot of drama, a lot of characters who died in the film, and they certainly went through a lot, and it
was a very emotional film. I'm sure we cried. We were in a good audience. Now we have had some awesome audience experiences when you go on opening day.
If you like that kind of thing.
If you do, when people film it and put it up on.
We don't cry out, but we love it.
Oh my goodness!
When people film it and put, you mean in the.
Like you hear the audience reacting, not filming it. Nobody does that. No, just kidding.
Well, you were just talking about Johnny Depp in Pirates of the Caribbean. I didn't know how far your piracy went when you were. No, I'm
okay, we're gonna move on.
What? No. April 27th, Endgame. 2018.
No, April 26th was Endgame. Okay. April 27th, 2018, 1 year before Avengers Infinity War came out. So I thought we'd talk about
a little bit of a 8-month cliffhanger.
Yeah, so really cool, really fun. I mean, these story arcs have been so huge and so interesting. A lot, I don't know, there's just a lot of drama in them for sure. But I'm looking forward to all the new
there's so many now. The arcs are all over Disney Plus, and they've been doing Moon Knight.
Oh my gosh.
I mean,
but like Hawkeye, that was so fun. Yeah. I mean,
we're constantly having our Marvel appetites fed.
Well, and the question is, like, would they have done all these things on Disney Plus, or would those things have been films? Like, anyway, it's kind of neat to be able to have these shows to watch in between the big film releases. I do like that part for sure. But that was 2018. Then moving on to April 28th, 1930. One more Silly Symphony to check out this week. This short is called Night, and it was directed by Walt Disney. This has a lot of music in it. This is the first short, though, after iWorks leaves. Okay. So another situation where you can go check out, because I told you about the one that he animated. Then you can look at that one and then look at this one and compare. I think it's really interesting. I love this one. I think it has a lot of emotion with the music and what they're choosing to do with the night animals. There's an owl, of course. I love owls, fireflies, frogs, and other inhabitants, of course, at the Old Mill Pond.
There you go.
I love that cartoon too, the Old Mill.
Our tie to Magic Kingdom, not just our Tom Sawyer.
But one of the songs in there is Beethoven's Piano Sonata No. 14. So you'll know it when you hear it, but it's beautiful. I like it. I love when they pair like classical music with the cartoons, and they didn't just do it for Fantasia. Like, they did it for a lot, and I think it's neat. It's educational.
It's silly, and it's symphony.
Well, they say classical music helps, like, your mind, like, expands your mind and helps you think
I've said
more.
before, how many classics and this entire classical culture would have been lost if the generations hadn't had Disney and cinema. So.
I think so too, yeah. So then moving on way ahead into the future, 2008, It's a Small World opens in Hong Kong Disneyland. So the Hong Kong Disneyland version of the attraction is mostly modeled after the original Disneyland counterpart, using a canal for the boats to travel through instead of an open-ended water track found at like the Magic Kingdom in Tokyo and Paris. The attraction is actually the largest indoor attraction at Hong Kong Disneyland.
There you go.
That's really interesting. They probably don't, I don't know what the temperature is there throughout the year. Like, obviously here we need more indoor attractions. Like, I think some people visit and wish there was even more than there already are.
You're saying because of the heat?
Yeah, people are, I mean, lately I've been seeing people like bright red, sunburned and stuff, but that's okay. It's just this time of year is a little more heavy on the UV. It like balances out, but anyway, they
I like to hit it hard, get burned through, and acclimate to the season. So.
I just think you need to get a good mineral sunscreen and, you know, take it easy, drink lots of water. You'll be good. Yeah, absolutely. But this one is worth checking out on YouTube because I love to see the different parts and how they do the different attractions. So you can check this one out.
2 eggs at the Contemporary for Easter had Mary Blair inspirations. Very nice.
Yes.
And our small world forever a part of our experience and hearts. Thank you, Mary.
Absolutely. But that is actually it for this week. We talked about lots, but mostly excitement for flower and garden.
Yes, for the flora.
For sure. It's wonderful.
Flower.
And this time of year is perfect wherever you live because everything is going to start blooming and being beautiful and warm.
You did well.
We love it.
You made it through.
Yeah, you made it for the dark, cold winter, right?
Good job.
Yeah, but that's it. Thanks for following along, you guys, and talk to us in the comments about all that's going on in your lovely spring times, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye!
Bye.